Welcome to Bikers and Backroads, the podcast about all things Harley-Davidson. We're your hosts, Jason and the Big Z, so sit back and join us as we go into this week's episode of Bikers and Backroads. What's up, guys? Thanks for downloading the latest episode of Bikers and Backroads podcast. It's just me this week, Jason. The Big Z is called away on some work duties, but we want to thank you for finding us. Again, if you're looking at me right now, you found us on our YouTube channel. If you're listening audio-wise, we appreciate that as well. You can find us on any platform where you can download your audio podcasts, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon. We're also on Instagram at Bikers and Backroads, and we're also on TikTok at Bikers and Backroads. So if you find us, like, share, subscribe, hit us up with some comments. That just drives the content on the channel. So, as I said, Xander's called away on work. He was supposed to have been home starting his Christmas vacation rotation, and some storms hit, and he is out helping others. So that's just what he does. He's away. I talked to him last night. He's hoping to be home by, you're watching this on Sunday, he's hoping to be home by Sunday. But we've got to drop, and I got some questions for him. He gave me some answers, and we're going to talk about this. So we're going to give a first run here of a solo, which I have been told it feels rather weird when you're used to doing it with someone else. And I must admit, I'm used to him being right here on my side, which makes things a little more smooth. But here we go. It is Christmas time. Again, you're getting ready to begin the week of all the Christmas festivities. We actually have some family things starting today. We get to go watch the daughter cheer a basketball game today down at Marshall. And then we begin some family festivities tonight into tomorrow, a few more days of work next week, and then we're off for a few days to enjoy the Christmas holiday. But as I've been out and about and traffic has been busy and we have been experiencing weathers from snow one day to 60 degrees, a few bikes have been out, lots of traffic, lots of people seem to be preoccupied with some holiday things. So my safety tip this week, or my first point, is going to be a safety tip, and it is to pay attention on a heightened alert if you're out this time of year riding your motorcycle. I have seen more distracted drivers, people on their phones, people looking at lists. I have seen so much. Every evening coming home from work, I've almost witnessed accidents, and that's not anything out of the ordinary. For a 1 or 2 time a week thing, but every day, multiple times on my drive and commute to and from work has been crazy with just people seeming to be preoccupied. So if you are out and about, your safety tip this week is head on a swivel, eyes up, don't be distracted as a motorcyclist. You're already having people that aren't looking for you or paying attention for you. So be extra careful. You want to be able to enjoy all these family festivities here at Christmas, and you don't want your family and people that care about you and love you have to come and spend Christmas with you in a hospital just because you simply weren't paying attention or you were involved in something you could have avoided. I know accidents happen and people can't always avoid things, but I believe in eliminating as many variables as you can. I'm not saying don't go ride if the weather is great, or at least in a temperature range that would facilitate going for a nice ride, but be extra careful because a lot of the cagers aren't paying attention. They're thinking about that Christmas gift they need to pick up or that cookie tray, and they're just not looking for bikes. So 2, I just want to take this time and remind everybody to be present and accounted for in the activities you're going to be involved in. Family is huge and important to me. I do this show with my son. We experience a lot of things, spend a lot of family time, do a lot of things together around here. You never usually are traveling in a one-person empty vehicle. Everybody tends to jump in and go and do all things together. But I just want to be more present and accounted for when I'm in the presence of my family and friends and people who love and support and shape me into being the person I am, support what we do here. The doom scrolling is going to be at a high this week as people are kind of present in physical abilities there, but not really dialed in mentally. And that just seems to suck us into this black hole where we don't pay attention and really appreciate things. And I know this is a motorcycle podcast and things, but and everybody's gonna be looking at if you're looking at your motorcycle parts, or if you're thinking about streaming our podcast, or listen to us audio wise with an earbud in, I would just advise you to do that later. Spend some time with the people around you. Be present. Listen to the conversations. Engage. Don't sit there and be preoccupied with a digital world that most of it doesn't really care if you exist or not. They're going to put out their content either way. I care that you exist. This channel's growing rather organically, and for most people, they would say slow. But this is a niche market. We talk about motorcycles. We talk about Harley Davidsons in particular. We talk about things we enjoy doing with each other, the Big Z and me, and that stuff is very precious and valuable to me. But at the same time, I would much rather, if I'm in the room where my son and my daughter and my wife are, I don't want to be just burning my thumb up, looking at things that don't give me the attention, the love, the support that they do, because you get around the holiday season and you start realizing that people aren't around anymore that used to be around, and how it changed and shaped you some. So don't let a digital social media 2-hour brigade stop you from having that conversation with that aunt or uncle, or the family members that you might not even get the chance to see next year, because life happens to us all. But I just want to say that I'm not here to be a philosopher or give you tons of advice. I love talking about motorcycle stuff, but that's just because I enjoy motorcycles on that level. I also enjoy my family time. I have the greatest in-laws in the world. I have the greatest family in the world. And yeah, we have our troubles and we have our differences, but man, when we're all together, it's just fun. And some of it's just seeing how crazy it can be and all work out, but just be present. That sale on those parts will be there later. Those social media and content creator people that you always want to think about and watch, they're enjoying their family, and they probably filmed that stuff months ago to have a drop around this time. So just unplug a little bit digitally and spend the time with the people face to face that you really care about and want to be involved with and share your holidays with. So, that being said, off my soapbox. The third topic tonight was going to be a question of, I was just going to ask Xander what he's looking forward to most through this winter season and going into spring and into riding season next year. He's at the point in building his bike that asking for gifts from people to do his builds, he says everything he wants to do has a comma in the price. So he doesn't ask us for, on his gift list, a lot of things for his motorcycle. It was way easier when he first got it, and you could buy grips and you could do things like that. But he has designed and has a plan for what he wants that motorcycle to be and what he wants it to look like. So he is at the point of just putting those finishing touches, or I guess you're never done with it, but the touches he wants it to be right now. So those aren't things that he asked for that we can be involved in. So I just asked him, I said, buddy, if you're going to plan for the winter to have what you're going to do in the spring and what you want your bike to look like, what are some of the things you want to do? And his list was as this. His first order of operation is over the next week to weekend that he's off. He wants to get all the maintenance done, the 3-hole oil change done, belt tension checked, brake pads checked, cleaned very well, and able to be put up for a couple weeks without having to, worry about what all's going on and it being ready. Also, keeping it on a tender. They're on tenders right now down in our garage, but he just likes to check that and make sure everything's good. And he's also started his plans for his build. He has purchased the cam chest and the oil pump, as we showed last week. He's discussed a cam kit with our friends over at Rollin' Throttle. We're going to try to link up with them and use their expertise in the mechanical worlds of getting this motor dialed into. But he wants to get that cam chest oil pump and the new cam kit installed on his bike before spring. And that'll make him need to get the Thunder Max tuner updated or retuned. And those guys over Rolling Throttle are some of the best in tuning Thunder Max anyway. So we're going to let them take care of the internals. Work with them, create some content. We're new to this. They're helping us a lot. So we are just going to follow their lead on things that we really don't know everything about. Wheels can go falling off quickly when you go diving into the motor, so I'm not going to act like I'm a great mechanic, and I will be the first to admit that that is not my wheelhouse. Xander Moore, on the other hand, is willing to try anything once, and then just he'll figure it out in the end, or if it gets too broke, he'll take it somewhere. I would rather just weigh the cost in the beginning and move on from there. Maybe that's wisdom. Maybe that is I'm not as young and gung-ho as I used to be. But anyway, so then we're going to go, his next thing was he's looking to upgrade his wheels and tires right now. We've had an episode where we talked about tires. He's looking for new rims going into the new riding season. He's got a couple leads out there, but putting his wheels and tires on, motor work done. And then the biggest thing he said is, Dad, I want to put the miles on my bike in the spring and summer. I want to ride more than we've been able to. And we ride a good bit. We just don't ride long, far days. We might ride 4 days in a week, but it might be 100 miles at a time. Around just the way we bop around or where we're running to. We may ride to a family event together and then take a little detour on the way home and then come home. But it's not like we're taking off on a Friday evening and coming home on a Sunday. And those are things he wants to start exploring doing. So I think we're both looking forward to putting more miles on our bike. Our family life is kind of calming down to activities that pull on your time as much on the weekends as our children are getting older. And some things are just a little more stable with, the ability to change in a quick flash of a moment. But that just seems like where we could improve some of the things and match some of the plans. He also wants to hit more of the bike events that are going on around here. There's a push for the local drag strip around here where bikes are starting to show up and do some racing, and that seems to pique his interest just to go watch and see. Like I said earlier in a couple episodes, we've never been to a rally. We've been to a couple like meetups. We've never done a rally type, and I'm not trying to put this in one, but like an event geared for riding and motorcycles for just multiple days. So we're looking forward to doing Mobbing in the Mountains here in West Virginia in June. So that's what his thought process was going into the new year. He's like, Dad, this is what I want to accomplish. He asked me back the same question. He goes, so what are your things? And my thoughts are, my objectives here after the first of the year is I want to upgrade the exhaust on my Dyna. That'll be one of the first big mods I've done to mine. We know it's pretty stock. So that's something that's going to be ordered and installed pretty soon. And then I'm going to upgrade some tires. I need to. The shelf life of ours are both old, but he wants to do wheels at the same time. But my rims are fine, and I just want to upgrade my tires. And then I, too, am looking forward to plugging into some of these events around us. Going to watch the track, going to doing Mobbing in the Mountain. We have the guide of the motorcycle guide here in West Virginia, which is just a start of places we're going to look to start riding. Some of the rides that are mapped out, and people ask, what are some of the, couple of the first 5 rides you do in the state of West Virginia? And we've laid those out in previous episodes, but we're going to take off and do those. And we've upgraded camera equipment, and we're ready to start filming some of that and getting some footage to put out on the YouTube channel and build some content, and then just experience some of that stuff. And a lot of those will be longer day rides, take off in the morning and we'll be home by the evening, but it might be a 200-mile loop or a 250-mile loop. And but those will be fun. You get out, you ride, you get gas, you get a snack, you grab a bite, you ride home. Those are fun days. And if nothing else is pulling on our time, or we just schedule that that's what we're going to do, that's what we're going to do. But it's about spending time. It's about people and machines. That's where I am with motorcycling. There's a lot of the community and the culture that's up in arms and don't get along, and some of the culture doesn't seem to be as much about guys that just ride their bikes, wrench on their own bikes, put down miles, appreciate what it does, appreciate a guy pulling up on a bike they haven't seen in a few years. Or that's just where I am. That's some of the most fun times to me. When we did the Talon this summer, is stopping at places and you see just all kinds of bikes. You have sport bikes, you have cruisers, you have Harleys, you have Indians, you have metric bikes, all people. But the point of them being where you are is they love to do exactly what you do. So that part of the culture is something I love. I'm not a get off in the weeds about culture. I think there are some things we've done in the past couple years that have damaged some of the motorcycle culture, but I'll let those that are deeper into that debate that. And I just know where I'm looking to plug in and what my on-ramp and my off-ramp's going to be on that road. And we're just going to stay there with a little bit of boundaries as we pick and choose around this, and just make sure that we want it to be, the real part, the machines, the people, the miles, the camaraderie. If something's broke, you jump in and help somebody fix it. If they're trying to do a part update or an upgrade, you're giving the advice and not anything that you don't know, or just having your opinions, and then just going out and having a great time with some people who are like-minded as you and wanting to enjoy their machine and the people around. So that being said, that's kind of where we are. We're looking to plan a few rides. We're going to do a few rides around here as soon as the weather can break. We're going to have a few in the hop ready to go. And one of our first ones is just a loop from where we live up through Marmet, over on Route 3, up through Beckley and back around. And that has a name, but I'll look it up, and when we do that, I'll document it all really well. But yeah, I too need to do the routine maintenance on my motorcycle. That was something we were planning on doing today, possibly, if he was home, was running by the shop and getting all of our kits and filters and everything ready to do this. We're going to film those and put them on the YouTube side. I know you've seen 3-hole oil changes on Dynas a million times, but we're just looking to do some content and make sure people have something to watch and stay in touch with us. So that's just where we are going into what's coming up in the spring. A few more rides. My biggest thing is my exhaust is going to be upgraded. I'm looking to do bars and risers. That might be later towards middle of summer. And then just putting miles on this thing. I too want to ride more than I have the past couple years. I've started riding to and from work more often. Just that's a little bit of a reset for me, I believe. And those things just help me, especially if life is busy and I feel like I'm not getting time to ride like I want to. Riding to and from work scratches that itch for me. So there are things looking that we want to do. We also have talked, we would love to establish a little more of a developing some merch. And even if it's just Xander and I wearing it, or friends and family that really support us and things, but to do a test run of maybe a hat and some shirts and a hoodie. If we're going to be a brand and establish ourselves, we should rep ourselves. I don't want to be, I wear a lot of Harley Davidson stuff because I love the brand. But if I'm going to be my own brand, and not that I'm my own brand because I'm trying to be dominating the product sales environment. But if I'm going to invest time in things I want to do, and I'm going to have to wear clothes anyway, I might as well wear my own brand or rep my own hat, because that might start conversation for somebody like, what's Bikers and Backroads? And it's a podcast I do with my son. It's a YouTube channel we ride Harley Davidsons, and we're trying to help build this riding scene and things around West Virginia and be informative of things. So a merch launch is definitely something we would love to see on a small scale. We'll work out the details, and if it's something limited, we'll bring it to you guys. Also, we want to look at being just more active, more posts a week, gathering the content. And no, I'm not looking to be in a content creator, influencer realm, but we're both going to get things for Christmas that are, bike oriented and things like that. So we will be filming those openings and installations and shorts, just so we have things to interact with, so that more people can find us and listen to us if they would choose to do so. Last thing being said, I know this is a short one. I'm trying to be probably around 30 minutes. Like I said, I miss my ace. He's not here to bounce ideas off of. Can't appreciate him enough for just being able to jump in here with his old man. He's got a busy life, pulls on him a lot. He's active, and he doesn't have the ability in the industry he works in to do a lot of time management planning. A lot of his things are, if his week is smooth, it is, but it can go to, hey, you're gone for a few days at the drop of a hat. So I love that guy, that kid. Blessed that he's mine. He's a blessing to anybody that knows him and works with him and gets to know him. And I hope you guys get to know him a little better. But I really appreciate him hopping on here. He has a passion for motorcycles. He has a passion for Harley Davidsons. It's great that a 21-year-old kid has that much passion and a thirst for knowledge and as strong ideas as he has. And he's very well at articulating them as well. But that being said, we are super thankful and appreciative of all those who send us messages, who follow us, who listen. And I know a lot of people that listen and download our videos are some family members that might not ever ride a motorcycle. I get it. I appreciate the support, because you're going to like and share that video for us. And somebody's going to watch that doesn't know what we do. Or I have friends from high school and college and things like that, and they're like, dude, I saw you're doing a podcast. And I'm like, yeah, probably never thought that would be me, but I do it with Xander. I love motorcycles. I love him. As long as he wants to keep doing this, I would do this. I will tell you, it's way harder as a solo host. I would much rather be setting up and doing an interview with him, and we have worked out all those kinks and details, and we'll be able to do this from hotel rooms if he's called out on the road. We finalized all that stuff and got all my ducks in a row doing that. So we will be doing some live and some invitation, like StreamYard stuff. He has some buddies that have some very unique ideas for Harley Davidson, and I love listening to those younger guys because that's what's going to drive things. Eventually, the older guard's going to hand off to a younger guys. And you want to know just the type of guys you're handing it off to. Are you looking for people who are just trying to build content and be influencers and be making money off of the motor company for spewing out information they didn't create or what they were just asked to go film? Or do you want people that ride machines, know how to work on them, have ideas about them, enjoy hanging out, are willing to help anybody? That's the type of people I want linked up, because that's what motorcycling culture is to me. But that being said, this is going to be our last episode of the week. He's gone again next weekend, or last episode of the year for 2025. This is our 19th podcast. That means we've been doing this a little over 4.5 months. It was a year in building this. to begin this because I was a little nervous about doing it. I'm not saying we're pros or do it great right now, but we have a lot of fun doing this. But yeah, we're going to spend this time and this week with our families. We're going to go into New Year's with our families. We'll have a show the first weekend of into 2026, and we'll see what Christmas and New Year's brought us, and we'll catch up with the Big Z. If anything pops up that's exciting as we do some things, you'll find it on our YouTube channel. Probably more, it'll be the video side, and the next audio podcast will drop the first weekend in January 2026. Again, we thank you. We appreciate you. We enjoy the feedback. We're looking to grow this. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you know anybody that does motorcycle content or listens or wants to do, figure out some things or learn more about things, I think we have something for people. And our tagline is always, whether you're a seasoned Harley rider or you're dreaming about owning your first Harley Davidson, we feel we've got something for you. So be safe, pay attention, be present, have a plan going into January and into 2026 of what you want to accomplish in some goals of your life and also in your motorcycling. And 4, just be appreciative and thankful for what God's given you and blessed you with. Take this time to reflect on it. Support people you believe in. Support companies that support your dreams. If you're looking to spend money on presents and gifts at people that support what you believe in and have your core values. That's the ability to support capitalism at its finest. No, this is not an economics broadcast or anything, but I just think I want to link up with people that are going the same direction as me. And if that's not you, or I'm not with where you're going, I'm not against you, and I'm not going to bash you. I'm all for people that have passions and desire to improve and do better and have things they want to chase. But we all have our own ideas and identities and things like that. So be present, be appreciative, be supportive as much as you can. Don't put anybody down that's chasing a dream, because 2 guys here started a podcast in their house. And I mean, we don't have 100,000 viewers and we don't get 1,000 views and reshares every week, but we're trying to develop this content. We're trying to develop a channel, a brand, a place where you can come and get information. And we're going to ramp this thing up, and it's going to be better in 2026 because we're just going to get better as we do it. And we're going to fine tune it and things like that. But we appreciate you. We thank you for being with us. And as always, you riders, be safe and be blessed. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.